Entanglement is a quantum mechanical phenomenon first proposed by Albert Einstein, Boris Podolsky, and Nathan Rosen in the famous 1935 EPR paper. Their intention was to criticize quantum mechanics by pointing out what they saw as its incompleteness. They described a situation in which two particles become correlated in such a way that measuring one instantaneously affects the other, regardless of distance. Einstein dismissed this as spooky action at a distance. However, quantum theory predicted that entanglement was not only real but fundamental. This prediction was experimentally confirmed decades later, notably by John Bell's theorem and the aspect experiments in the 1980s. These experiments demonstrated that no local hidden variable theory could explain the statistical outcomes of entangled particles. Quantum systems are not simply influenced by local causes. Instead, the act of observation collapses a shared state between entangled systems, even when separated by vast distances. Today, entanglement is both celebrated and misrepresented, often romanticized in pop science, pseudoscience, and spiritual circles. Common misunderstandings include that entanglement enables faster-than-light communication. It doesn't. It changes correlations, not signals. That entanglement means everything is connected in a magical way. It's more specific and fragile than that. And that it can be used easily or intuitively to explain consciousness or healing at a distance, without mechanisms or specificity. While these interpretations are often poetic, they strip entanglement of its mathematical precision and turn it into a catch-all metaphor, which dilutes its true strangeness and revolutionary implications. Temporal subjection theory, TST, argues that time is not objective, but is instead a function of conscious processing. The brain renders a narrative of sequential events based on quantum inputs, which are filtered and shaped into what we experience as linear time. Entanglement directly challenges the notion of time as a sequence. If two entangled particles can affect each other's states instantaneously, it suggests that at the most fundamental level, the universe does not evolve strictly through local, step-by-step causality. TST can embrace entanglement as evidence that the flow of time is an illusion, a product of subjective organization of events. Entangled systems could serve as bridges across what we perceive as time, supporting the idea that reality is experienced by consciousness, not dictated by physical temporality. In this sense, entanglement in TST demonstrates the non-locality of quantum reality, validates the idea that events are not necessarily sequential, and supports the concept that conscious experience collapses probability into perceived reality. In fact, scientists found the entire universe is not locally real. I'm referring to the 2022 Nobel Prize in Physics, which was awarded to Alan Aspect, John Clauser, and Anton Zeilinger for their experiments that demonstrated the truth of quantum mechanics over the classical view of local realism. This means that the universe is not both local, where objects are influenced only by their immediate surroundings, and real, where objects have definite properties independent of observation. Consciousism holds that consciousness is the fundamental substrate of reality, not an emergent property of matter, but the very medium from which matter, time, and perception arise. In this context, entanglement is not just a physical phenomenon, it is an ontological clue. It points toward the unity of experience at a level that transcends space and time. From the perspective of consciousism, entanglement may be a visible trace of the underlying unity of all consciousness. The collapse of an entangled state through observation becomes symbolic of consciousness localizing itself, briefly, to experience duality. Entangled particles can be seen as projections of a singular conscious field that only appear distinct when viewed through the lens of time-bound perception. In this model, the observer doesn't just witness entanglement, they participate in it. Consciousness doesn't merely observe collapse. It is the collapse, the decision, the point of distinction between possibility and experience. Entanglement is not proof of mysticism, but it does challenge classical notions. of separateness, causality, and linearity. Both TST and Consciousism offer a metaphysical architecture in which entanglement is not just tolerated, it is necessary. In TST, it suggests that time is constructed, not discovered. In Consciousism, it suggests that separation is illusion, and unity is the default. Far from being a scientific curiosity, entanglement may be the observable fracture line between objective physics and subjective awareness, between the measurable and the experienced.